channel. I'm talking about manifesting with anger. So you are at a point where you maybe think you're angry and you think that's a negative thing, so you're trying to bury your anger. You're trying to bury it, so you are feeling really angry about a situation that you want to be a certain way, and it is this way at the moment. It's making you angry. Often this is to do with people, isn't it? When somebody has upset us and behaved in a certain way and we're wanting to change things around, we're thinking we can't feel anger because we won't be able to manifest with anger. No, this is so not true. I'm just going to give an example. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday who actually started off as a coaching client of mine a few years ago, but we've since become friends. We have a skill swap thing going on, and we were talking about this, and this happened on 2 occasions with her, because she was saying, like, what's happening there? I go, that's just your energy. Okay, it was anger, but this is the way that she did it, and she did it inadvertently. She wasn't trying to manifest when she did it, but the outcome that she wanted on 2 occasions manifested super quick. And because, as I said to her, momentum is momentum, whether it's anger or it's joy or it's optimism, excitement. If there is momentum there, it's like rocket fuel, and you can use your anger to fuel what it is you want, but you have to do it in a certain way. So basically, she was angry with a couple of people about certain situations that were unfolding in a certain way, which she wasn't happy with. And she, in her mind, when she was getting angry, she was thinking, you should be doing whatever it was that she wanted them to do. I don't know how much I can, she's told me I can talk about this, but I don't want to give too many personal details. So she was thinking, you should be doing da, 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 but you're doing this, and I don't accept that. I do not accept that. You should respect me and be doing this. And then with this one particular incident, the person in question that she felt should be behaving a certain way came to her house. They had a conversation, and she said, oh, I decided to do this. And so she did what my friend had wanted her to do. She was in the middle of a situation between my friend and somebody else. So basically, the middle part where she had been getting involved, in the middle part, my friend didn't want that anymore, wanted her to completely withdraw herself from it and not be involved. This happened, and this person called me twice. She said, and each time I just ignored the call. I didn't pick it up. And that was precisely what my friend wanted to happen. She was thinking to herself, you shouldn't be answering the phone, just don't answer the phone to her, and then that's all that needs to be done. And that's exactly what happened. That was out of character for her not to answer the phone to this other person, because she's such a nice, caring person. She wants to help everybody. She wants to be the helper. And that was what was frustrating my friend, because she didn't want her involved. She wanted her out of the equation. And for her to say she didn't pick up the phone twice, which is exactly what my friend had wanted, was completely out of character. She kind of smiled to herself. She thought, God, that was anger. And this is what we were talking about. The momentum of anger is like rocket fuel. And it happened with another situation with her where she got really cross with somebody behaving a certain way. Again, won't go into all of the details, but she turned that situation around in a couple of days with her anger. So if you're feeling really angry about something and you can't help it, and you're trying to bury it because you want to manifest and you think this isn't productive, actually it is productive, and it does 2 things. It's very empowering because you allow yourself to be angry at the situation or the person. Maybe you've been overlooked for a promotion and somebody else has got that promotion. You feel like you're just completely overlooked at work. Maybe it's a relationship thing where somebody has ghosted you, or where somebody is treating you in a certain way that makes you angry, but you're trying to manifest something different, so you're not making the most of that anger. The way to use it is this. So there is a way not to use it. So you don't get angry and go, oh, I can't stand this, this is happening, and kind of dwell in and send anger towards what you don't want to see. You can state what you don't want, and then you have to get really angry and go, no, they should be doing this. They should be behaving like this. I only accept this. I do not accept this. I only accept this. So you're putting that anger, and it sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? But towards what you do want, but you're doing it, you're just allowing that anger to come out because it's there. Let's make the most of it. Let's utilize that anger and use it as rocket fuel in order to manifest you towards what you want. But you've got to do it again with any of this stuff without expectation of like, oh, I've done that now, so when's that going to happen? You've got to stop that. You just got to pull away from that, because that is the observation effect. In quantum, we look at that as a Zeno effect. So if you're observing anything, it's going to carry on behaving in the same old way, the way that basically you're expecting it to behave, the way you've become accustomed to imagining that it's going to show up to you. So you're just watching it And so again, you can't boil, you know, a watched kettle never boils. That's where that saying comes from, really. If you're watching a situation, then it's just going to carry on, because we're all atoms. So you're just watching the atoms. You're observing the atoms, so they can only behave in the same way. But take your eye off the ball, and that's when things change. And do you know what? What I would say with this, manifesting with anger, is just go, when I'm angry about anything, I am just going to let that be, and I'm going to deal with that anger. I am going to just use it in the situation. So don't kind of think of it as manifesting. Just say, I am going to do the natural thing. I'm angry about this. I'm going to let it out. You know, and I can go back to situations actually when I felt like that and things have manifested. But again, I haven't had that intention of manifesting with it. It's just happened. So if you just do it as a matter of course and go, I need to deal with anger. It needs to come out. So I'm just going to do that. And if I manifest from it, all the better. If you look at it like that way, amazing. So again, it's momentum. And as I said at the beginning, momentum is momentum. Whatever it is, whatever feeling you're using as momentum, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter. Universe doesn't know any different. All it feels, whoa, that's powerful. There you go, you know. But again, if you're then doing it and then watching for it, so try and do it not too intentionally. So it's difficult, isn't it? Do it in the right way. So make sure that you're including what you do want the outcome to be within that. So I do not accept this. So, I mean, I do this when I really can't accept a certain outcome might happen that I don't want. I go, no, I don't accept that. I've done that with my friend, with her healing her eyes. I also did it with Jeremy. And I did that yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think it was the day before. Where he has had an operation on his eyes. So he's had his lenses changed, removed, and new lenses. And he had an amazing job done. And he was so pleased with it, and he could see, and he doesn't need glasses anymore and doesn't need lenses. And then he went for a checkup, and they found some cells were growing back in one of the eyes. So whether they didn't, I feel they didn't clear them out properly personally, and he was gutted about that. So eventually that was going to deteriorate, so he'd need laser. But he was going to need the laser for it. Okay, that was just the way it was, and that would cure it. That would get rid of the cells, and then also he could then have another laser treatment to correct that vision slightly, because it was slightly off, but still as good as mine probably, and I don't wear glasses. And then he went for another check, and then they found them coming back in the other eye as well. So he was absolutely gutted, because the company that he's gone with, I don't think it was the best idea to go with them. They did an amazing job initially, but the aftercare is shocking. And he knew that he was going to have issues even getting in contact with them and trying to get this sorted. And he said, in all this time that's going to go on, they're going to get worse and worse, my eyes. And I said, you're really low, aren't you? I didn't know it was that at the time, actually. I said, why, you seem really low. And he said, oh, it's the eye situation. And we talked about it. And I could tell, I thought, no, I'm not having that. I am not having that. I'm not having this usual mess around that we've got, chasing for this and chasing for that, and then nobody coming back to him, and then him having to go through the call centre, then them getting in touch with the office. And honestly, if you go online, I'm not going to say the company, I wouldn't do that, but actually online, there's some shocking reviews, and they've got a really low Trustpilot score on their aftercare, and tons of issues. And I thought, no, that is not happening. I felt angry with them. I felt angry that they had taken a lot of money, and it's a lot of money. I mean, we're looking at nearly £7,000 altogether, and he was not getting the aftercare that he should have been getting. And I felt quite furious with them, and I directed that, and I thought, no, this is not happening. He is not going to call and get the mess around. He is going to call, and they are going to sort this out for him in the moment. Absolutely, they're going to. That's all I accept. I don't accept anything else. And then he messaged me when I was at work, and he said, oh my God, I got an appointment. Like, they've literally given me an appointment for this. I'm so happy. And I thought, yes, of course they bloodied it, because they did not have another option. Because I'd started to feel quite frustrated at them as a company, and thought, how dare you take all that money from someone and then not follow up and give them the aftercare. And I read some reviews online. I thought, oh my God, like, he shouldn't have gone there, basically. And then I thought, no, that's not going to do you any good. Not going to do you any good whatsoever. Get angry with them, but decide what you do want. And that's what I did. And all the times he's been having, and he's been messed around by them, he was shocked, really shocked, because this doesn't happen, that they would make him an appointment like that. Yeah, they've approved the surgery. There you go, there's your date. And it's just a few weeks' time. So couldn't be any better. It's before we go on holiday. Again, it was like rocket fuel. So I thought of accepting that, the acceptance, and I thought, no, on this occasion I cannot accept that. And I did feel that rocket fuel of anger towards them for doing this to him, because I know they're doing it to lots of people, but the fact was he was down about it, and I didn't want that. I didn't want him to be like in the doldrums. God, I've used that word for a long time. That's probably a really English old-fashioned 70s, 80s word, isn't it? But I didn't want him to be, because he'd been so pleased with it, and I felt like he'd taken a real plummet and it was affecting him on a day-to-day basis. I haven't told him that I manifested that. When he told me, I almost wanted to go, oh yeah, I manifested that, but I thought, no, don't do that. Don't do that. You just annoy people when you do that. Stop it. And anyway, I don't think it's not necessary, is it, that I get, that I get kind of kudos for doing that. It happened, and that was that. And would I say that I knew that was going to happen? No, but I had a calm that there was a very good chance it would happen. I had a calm that there was a 95% chance that would happen. And I thought, if it doesn't, it is going to sort itself out. So let's kind of clear up exactly what I did. I did that, but what I also did was spoke to my subconscious, which I do all the time, and said, please sort this out in the best way possible that makes Jeremy smile. It makes me smile as well, really. So that was a simple sentence. And then I applied that kind of full force of the annoyance and anger I felt at them for how they've been handling this, and how they obviously handle the aftercare in all situations. But I used it to my better good, because I stressed what I did want, and I would only accept this, but I could really feel that I was cross with them. So I hope that I've managed to explain that adequately. When I was talking to my friend about it yesterday, we were talking about it, she said, you should make a video about this. And I said, yeah, I will actually. And she said, use my story. It's great to use people's stories, but when I start talking about them, I always feel a little bit like I'm putting this out there to everyone. But I do think that that's really useful. I didn't go into too much detail, did I? But, with my own stories, I can go into as much detail as I want. If you sign up as a member on my website, I don't have a member section here on YouTube. I do it via my own website. You will find that there's a lot of personal stories in there, and I don't really hold back. I just go in there. And so you'll see why I talk about some of the things I talk about, because of the experiences that I've had with it. I'm not just randomly talking about stuff that I know nothing about, that I haven't done myself. I only talk about things when I have done these things and had success. And when I don't have success and I do things that don't work out for me, I talk about those as well, because I have to turn that around in some way. And I talk about all of that. And the stuff I talk about here, when I talk about you not having success doing it this way, is because I haven't. And I've found that if I've done this, if I've taken a different approach, this has happened. And I just want to pass it on to you guys, really, and see if I can turn things around for you. Like, I'm not doing it, you're doing it, but I'm just sometimes saying something that somebody goes, oh yeah, that really resonates, let's give that a go. So if things aren't working in the way you're doing them, a new approach is necessary. And it's always good actually to have a fresh approach, I think. I really do think it is good sometimes to kind of reevaluate and go, is this working for me? What else might I do instead? And what else might feel better to me? So, but if you have any anger there, what you can't do, and I was talking to a client about it, and sort of telling her to do it, but then she was going, but I don't really feel that anger. Well, you can't do it if you don't feel it. You have to feel the anger. You can't evoke anger when you don't feel it. And why would you want to? You don't want to do that. You don't make yourself angry about something that you're actually really not angry about. But what you do want to do is go with the emotion that you do have. What is the emotion that you have around this situation? Is it powerful in whichever way, whatever it is it powerful? Yeah, what is that feeling? Let's say desperation, for example. You're feeling desperation, that's not anger. Well, how can you use that desperation? Really go for it, really feel that desperation and direct it towards what it is you want, but don't direct it towards the undesirable. So you've got your desperation, you know what you don't want, direct that desperation to what it is that you want, because desperation is momentum too. It's bizarre, isn't it? But it really is, and I've manifested and I've been really desperate. I've manifested really quick. I haven't had any expectation behind that desperation at all, because it didn't cross my mind that I could manifest like that. And since then I've manifested a few times in a desperate state, because now I know that I can apply that as momentum and it will have an effect. Again, the universe doesn't go, oh, that's desperation, you can't have it because you're desperate. It doesn't know desperation. It's just a feeling, it's just a momentum. It doesn't know what it is. It doesn't have labels for things. We do, but the universe doesn't. So yeah, give it a go, see how you get on, just apply it in the right way, and yeah, it's not going to do you any harm, put it that way. If you don't know anything about me, I'm an author, manifestation coach, and a mindset coach. There are numerous packages on my website. Just pop along and have a look. I do have a members area, which is you sign up, you pay £10 a month, you can cancel it anytime, even after the first month, it doesn't matter. You just go into your own subscription panel and just click cancel, your payment will stop at that moment, so it won't come out the next time, providing there's more than 3 days before the next payment is due, then it will stop. No questions asked, you can tell me why, but you don't have to. And basically you get a selection of mini courses, you get meditations and subliminals in there, you get so many modules. There's I think it's about 260 odd in there now. It's probably more than that because some I forget to number. So, and they're all sectioned into their various different categories for you to look through. If you're going to do that, I suggest you start with the newest ones first, because what I might have said 3.5 years ago, I wouldn't necessarily say now. It's still relevant, but I kind of upgrade what I do, I think, over time for my own self, and then I pass that on to you guys. So I would suggest starting newer first and then going back to the older ones. You also get email support. So if you're on a module and you need clarification, you want to ask me a question about it, you can do that. I come back to you within 1 to 3 days, but you can also just ask me a random question and I will come back to you. It's not email coaching, which is more intense, which I do offer as well, which is one-to-one, backwards and forwards. It's not like that, but it is, it's not limited. So you could ask me 3 questions in a week, for example, but I wouldn't necessarily come back to you really fast on those because I'm obviously dealing with my coaching clients, but I do come back to you. I try and do it within 3 days max. Anyway, I won't bang on about that. I just don't talk about this very often at all. I mean, I'm not very good at self-promotion, so I'm talking about it now. £10 a month, cancel anytime. Okay, thank you so much for watching.